One.
Oh.
Welcome, everyone. It is I, PSVR Man. Because on a special PlayStation night here at NLG. It is I can't see a thing. You know what would be really cool is if I actually plugged this into the PC.
Wow.
Or plugged this into the PlayStation and turned on the podcast, and I was like watching the podcast on the 80-inch screen that's inside this thing.
Isn't that Matrix like something or Inception?
Yes. Have you guys ever just like went to YouTube or watched a movie on this thing?
Yeah, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Ooh, good job.
Wait, in 3D? This thing does 3D?
3D Blu-rays, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
How?
I don't know, magic.
So this
Sony developed it into the.
I'm gonna have
with
to
my 2 eyes.
I'm serious. It placed 3D Blu-rays, so like the little stuff on the planet was coming at me in Guardians. I'm like, whoa.
I did not know that. You have. Oh my God. All right. The podcast is over. I'm off.
Yeah, it's so over.
Yeah.
Dude, this is why I'm the bra man. Okay.
This is why you're here. This is why you're here, Thomas. All right. I can't see, but here we go. I'm gonna hold it up here for a little bit. How great does that look?
Don't knock yourself out.
Into the Spider-Verse in 3D VR is amazing. I got the 4K version, so I don't know if the regular Blu-ray is 3D, but man, I'm gonna have to try it out because I know I've got a couple 3D Blu-rays, and after this is over,
Probably
that's
have
where
like
I'm headed.
Mermaid or something.
I
Yeah,
cannot.
3D
I
VR
can't
sounds
confirm
good.
or deny, sir. How's everybody doing? How you guys doing?
Good.
What a slow nothing week for news, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I'm
Hey,
sitting there. I'm in my work truck, okay? We pull up to the job. And all of a sudden, my best friend's like, PlayStation 5. I get this tweet. I'm his text. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, dude, I just tagged you on Twitter. So I jump on Twitter, and I'm like, what? Another shadow drop from Sony? Yep, there it was.
it wasn't a shadow drop, man.
It was like, boom.
Yeah, yeah. So this is what's funny, and and what's up, everyone? The chat room is, man. All I had to do was say we were on time, and boom,
Yeah, boom.
there they are.
It was like, dang, now we have to.
That's great.
Yeah, even Niall's
Right.
here.
This is awesome.
Yes.
Appreciate
So
everybody.
yes, and BZ McNasty's back. Thank you, brother. I'm glad that you.
Techno, you see Techno earlier?
Yeah, I saw Techno.
First in.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Just
I love
a
it.
bro.
Frankie's in the
Frankie?
chat room. Frankie is in
Yeah,
the chat room.
Said he just parked up. He's gonna deliver some packages.
There we go.
Like this.
There's also Just a Bro 25. And
Hey.
welcome in.
I
So
know Justin.
I think I have seen him on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him on a tweet.
The other show, the broadcast and stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll see him
So-
Saturday.
nice. Oh wait. Oh really? Is there a broadcast coming?
No, it's Wyatt's birthday party.
Oh, happy birthday to the little bra.
The biggest party in Tennessee. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What? Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
So how you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing awesome, man.
Yeah?
Even though I worked way too long today, I'm glad to
Yeah.
be here.
You worked way too
So we
long
can-
all month.
Talk some gaming.
Yes, sir. Peter, Chris, what's up, brothers?
Man, it's Thursday. Doing the show. Got my
Nice.
breakpoint loaded with the background music on. That game is delish.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give us a little of the scoop because my $1,300 car brake repair put a halt on.
That was the
halt
break
on by
and
that.
breakpoint, right?
Yeah, that's how I got broke.
What happened?
So my front brake started grinding. So I'm like, all right, well, that's what happens sometimes. So I took the car in, and the guy said, so, all right, so your front brakes just need, pads and rotors. Let's talk about your back brakes. I said, whoa. He said,
What are back brakes?
yeah, I said, your calipers on your back brakes haven't been working for probably what looks like a month or two. So the only thing stopping your car, and I have a van, I have a Chrysler Town and Country. The only thing stopping your van right now is your front brakes, which is why they chewed up like that. So, yeah. So, $1,300 later.
I know that pain.
At least I have a car that isn't going to drive itself off a ditch.
That's
I
my
wish- I
wife.
wish
She had to
we'd-
spend that much money on brakes too, so
So,
I feel your pain.
yeah.
I wish I didn't say Tommy to you because I used to always change my own brakes, and I call BS on brakes being that much.
No. It wasn't.
No,
They had to
well,
rebuild the calipers on the back.
Yeah.
The brakes themselves, I've changed pads before.
I mean, but it sounds like you had to replace rotors, calipers, and pads all at the same time.
Only had to replace the back calipers because they weren't working. They were broken.
Damn.
That's why my front brakes ground down as fast as they did because that's the only thing that was stopping the van.
Well, normally your front brakes use a higher percentage of stopping power. Your backs are only like maybe 30%. So if you never change your back brakes, maybe that's why your calipers went out.
I don't know. My father gifted my father when he passed away. My mother gave me the van, so I can't complain. It's a 2009. It's got 190,000 miles on it. If it's like lasts me another year, I'll be good. It's
Should've drove it
after
down
you
to
spend
Texas,
all
I
that money
would've
on your brakes. You want to last them.
Yeah.
You could have drove it down to Texas. I would have helped fix it with you.
Yeah.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Costs about the same, right?
Sure.
Round trip.
Also would have taken me 3 days to get there. Well,
That's a lot of coffee and Red Bulls.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Would have been worth it.
Oh, I made it, Chris.
Well, hell, I mean, considering my flight back from Dallas might have taken just as long to drive. I thought for a minute I was gonna have to sleep in the airport Friday night. So, yeah,
I hate
Hell.
flying.
I don't mind it, but
Well, I don't mind the actual flight. Once you're in the air, I'm good.
Right.
It's just all the shenanigans around it. Like, getting to the airport, doing all that jazz, security lines, crowd, and then hopefully you
So,
take off.
this
And-
was I think where luck ran out on me. I got to the airport. I already had my boarding pass. I had no check-in. I had only had 2 bags on me, 1 carry-on and my backpack with my laptop in it. There was at Dallas going home on a Friday. I walked up to the security area and there was no one. I walked right in and right through. I was in security for probably 2 minutes, long enough to give the person my boarding pass, go into the machine and do this crap, and then walk on out and put my shoes back on. And then I'm thinking to myself, man, this day's gonna be pretty good.
Wrong.
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 All of a sudden, I'm sitting there typing on my laptop, and people around me start to have commotion, and all I start hearing is, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Okay." So what do you mean the flight's been canceled? And I look up and I said, "I'm sorry?" And then next thing you know, my phone buzzes. Your flight's been canceled. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. And then when they announce it over this is the funniest part. When they announce it over the loudspeaker, they actually say the flight was the flight was canceled due to, and I'm not making this up, due to weather in the area. Now, keep in mind
That's always better. Sunny weather, you know.
So, keep in mind, all the other flights around me are flying in and out. So, we all start looking out the window. And we're like, there's sunny skies and a couple of clouds. So I called my wife. And I said, hey, Shell, is there something going on in Baltimore I don't know about? Some crazy storms or some crap? And she said, oh, no, it's sunny and warm out here. So it basically, it's we don't want to be responsible for anything. We don't want to take responsibility for the fact we broke our plane. Here was outside the window of Dallas, Fort Worth. That weather.
That's a big old plane.
Yeah, but sir, you got to understand that you're in Texas, and it takes a long time to get out of Texas. So where you're flying from in Texas might be fine, but maybe a couple hours later in Texas, you're still in Texas. It's probably bad weather.
No.
That's just the way it is in Texas.
No. My who was it? It was Jack, our buddy One-Eyed Jack, sent me a weather map of Dallas, Fort Worth, and Baltimore, and it was clear all the way. I ended up flying out an hour, 2 hours later, and having to go to Charlotte, North Carolina first, and then turn upwards to BWI. So I was actually going to stay with Anchorman if anything went wrong. Because at that point I was like, hey, I might be stuck somewhere. Can I crash? So, and the whole flight was beautiful. So there was no weather. It was a broken plane. And they just didn't want to say anything. They just didn't want to tell you that. Because then they might have to give me a voucher for something. Yeah. So, yeah. So it was a, and then of course, so it gets better. So the terminal for the flight that they booked. First off, they wanted to book me on another flight at like 6 at night, going to Dulles, which is in DC.
Yeah, could have picked you up.
And I'm thinking to myself, my car is at BWI. Why would you fly me to Dulles? So then I find the flight I need. It tells me I need to go. So, Chris, how much do you know about Dallas-Fort Worth Airport?
I've been there a few times. I don't.
All right, so
I've been there once.
They've got the monorail that goes around the entire airport. Yeah. All right, so I get on the monorail, and I got to go from. Sorry, Simpsons. Monorail. I'm at Terminal A, and I got to go to Terminal C. So I get on the monorail, go all the way around to Terminal C. I get off. There's a bunch of us grumbling. I walk off, go down the escalator, and my phone buzzes again. There's a gate change. And guess what terminal? Terminal A. I ended up at the back at the gate next to the flight that was canceled. So I went all the way back around. So wait, it gets better. So we're standing there in line, and the boarding is like 3:50 Central Time, which is 4:50 our time. And it's like 4:50, And it's like 450 or 350 to 355. And we're like, okay, what is going on? And then they make the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, the flight to Charlotte is going to be delayed for a few minutes. We're missing a flight attendant. I said, are they in the bathroom?
She'll get with the co-pilot.
I mean, did they go for a walk?
Missing as in, like, we need to put a picture on a pack of milk or what? On a jug?
It's another 20 minutes before they find the flight attendant. At this point, I turned to the guy next to me and said, I could give people peanuts and soda. I will push the damn cart. Let's go.
What do you want to drink,
vest.
sir?
Right, give me a vest. I will. I watched George Carlin. I can do the safety lecture. So, and the whole problem is I have a connecting flight in Charlotte that I have to run to because they're not going to be delayed. It was just such a. And then finally at like 11 o'clock I got home. I think it was 11. Wow. No, I got off the plane at 11. I got home at midnight.
Damn.
So that was a fun. That's why I wasn't on Friday night, just so you guys know. So, oh my goodness. So enough about stupid shit like that. So,
well, at least you made it home.
I'm glad your trip went well. Yeah, I'm glad your trip went well too.
Yeah, actually, I mean, overall it did. I got done what I needed to get done. You know, the flight there was very nice. The plane had not only complimentary movies, so I got to watch Battle Angel Alita.
Oh, how was it?
That was pretty good, actually.
It looks interesting.
It was a pretty good movie. Plus, they had every seat had a power outlet, so my phone was fully charged by the time I got off the plane.
Yes.
So, anyhow.
First class.
So what's up, Indie Gamer? I'm sorry, I was just looking over there. Magic Mike, thank you, brother. Yeah, is Dallas Fort Worth the airport from Die Hard 2?
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
Google.
Hold on, I gotta look that
Google.
up. Yeah, I have to look that up. So anyway, needless to say, between that and then my weekend was camping, and then Monday I got a little gaming on Monday. Tuesday night was start of Yom Kippur, so I wasn't on Tuesday night. Fasted all day Wednesday, so Wednesday night I was crashed, and here we are Thursday night. So I did not get as much gaming in as I was hoping to. So
Feel ya.
Peter has.
Well,
Peter
never
plays
enough
all
gaming.
Peter got enough gaming for him and me together.
The other day, when was it? Was it yesterday? It got late.
Yeah.
It was like 1:30, I think. It's like, yeah, now it's really time to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's way
Yeah.
better.
It's like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I tell you. It's like I get lost in that game.
You tend to
It's
get
so-
lost in games.
It's like,
Where am I?
it's so open and it's so relaxed, and, sniping people left and right. It's
How is it? Because I've heard so many mixed reviews on it. I've heard people saying, it's all it is microtransactions. You can buy the game. You can buy your way to the best level. And then other people were saying, they're not that bad. They're only bad if you start gravitating towards them or...
Yeah, and another thing is, like, if you like Ghost Recon Wildlands, or if you hate it, you're not gonna like this game.
Huh.
If you like that game, then there's a good chance you like this one too.
I've just been reading my timeline and people were, oh, this is so good. Now people, this is a piece of trash. I can't believe I spent $60 on it. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
There's like no middle. There's like no middle ground. for
There's
it.
no
It's
middle
just
ground. That's
either
just the
you
way it
love
is
it or
nowadays.
it's just garbage.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
Um,
shocked.
Yeah, one thing, like in Wildlands, like, between like your objectives, there's not a ton to do, and here it's like, you walk around, you collect your collectibles, your herbs and your plants and stuff, and there's a lot to see, and it's a gorgeous game.
herbs
'Cause I've been
and plants
enjoying-
and proteins.
I've been
protein.
enjoying the Division 2,
Yeah.
which gets a big update next week. Well, what?
Yeah.
Does it? What,
Yep.
What update? Because I got that.
You get which version did you get?
Yeah. tickets in if you have the.
I have just a regular one.
Okay, I think all the good stuff comes out the 22nd then, or something like that.
Yeah.
And next week's for like the season pass holders.
Oh,
and,
next week's for the.
But there is a bunch of updates.
Special few.
I know there's a bunch of updates that are changing the gameplay, so they had to delay the raid. Like, sorry.
So this is so I was just looking it up just because you guys were talking about it. The Metacritic on Breakpoint 64. How the hell did that happen?
I told you, man. So people were just like the microtransactions galore. I hate this game. Burning.
Yeah.
Read their user reviews.
Yeah,
The user reviews aren't much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and I heard some of the reviews were whoever played the game maybe played the beta or just played a little bit of it and didn't really get a full understanding of the game. I mean, it just seems like, reviewers nowadays, there's a lot of games they got to review, right? So how much time do they actually have really to play a game like this? That's an open world game. It's not a, and if it's not their cup of tea, like Peter was saying, that if you didn't like Wildlands, you're probably not gonna like this either. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if like Peter said, he played Wildlands, I played Wildlands, and he likes it. I'm pretty sure.
I love Wildlands.
I mean, it's sometimes
like all the DLC, including the one with I always forget the name, the one with the monster trucks and stuff. That's awesome.
Chris has a point though. All these reviewers have to do all these reviews and all that. I mean, we get emails each week, people asking to review games I've never heard of, or we just want to have enough guys to review them all. So, these guys get paid to do it for a living. I mean, I'm sure they're getting bombarded by these big publishers to cover our game, please, please, please.
Oh yeah, I know.
Michael, you know how it was back when the side thing.
Well, that was back before you could download all this stuff,
right?
And that was back before you had. Early releases that you played before the multiplayer servers went up. You couldn't review a game until after you played it online for a little while. That's just it. We didn't do this review in progress bullcrap. That's one thing that I tell you we never did. We never did that. We never played a game and then played it online and modified the score. It just didn't happen. So this is why. I mean, I get it. This is why reviews, But what's funny is that the user score is not the user score. Usually, the user score doesn't match the review at all. The critic scores, but in this one, it's matching pretty well. So it's a love it or hate it. Peter's exactly right. It's a love it or hate it.
Yeah. Well, educate. So there's stuff on the map that you can go to where the microtransactions, if you want to do something, but it's not in your face, right? It's a choice for you.
No, I don't know what the microtransactions are. Really,
so
I mean, I don't know what you. I don't know.
Yeah. So if it's not there in his face, tell him if you want to do this, you want to be better, then get over here and buy it. What are people complaining about? A lot of these microtransactions are just an option, a choice that people can make. If you got money and you don't have the time to sit there and put in a lot of hours to try to get certain items or whatever, hey, then buy it. You have that right.
Yeah.
And so why does that have to be inputted into a review of a game? That doesn't tell me what this game is really about. What's the game mechanics? How's the environment?
Nate says
it's all the rage right now.
Don't start until 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, it's like people want to make all this rage about microtransactions in games.
They like to rant and rave about it.
Yeah, it should not be in a review, and that it shouldn't. To me, it should not affect the score, unless somehow, in a way, it affects how the game. That you have no choice but to, if you don't pay to play, then you're not going to really enjoy the game.
I only have a problem with it if it's like PvP, and you can buy your way in to get better stuff quick.
Yeah.
Bullshit. That I understand.
And
Right.
here's another thing: it's like the better players have the better gear, so they have more advantage than, you know, the worst player in there. It almost seems like backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Then
better
imagine.
you get, the worse your weapon should be because you're so good.
Yeah. Then imagine. Imagine on top of that, then you have to deal. Then you'd have to deal with the forced crossplay.
Force crossplay. Yeah. Oh, don't get me started.
Hey, HJK, me and you work for Ubisoft just because we enjoyed playing the Ghost Recon game,
Yes.
and it has microtransactions.
Can't believe
Okay.
you guys would take their money.
I know.
Well, apparently I like mediocre games, so that's okay.
Yeah. How could
Hey, I'll tell you what, Ubisoft has been my favorite publisher.
Yes.
Hey, look,
After you.
they've been
Assassin's
rock
Creed,
solid.
Ghost Recons, and oh man, that's like
And I like those type of games, the open world where I can take my time, explore, and plus I can jump in and play with my friends.
yes.
And I know me, Peter, Nate,
What
Coop,
the hell just happened?
we had a lot of fun in Wildlands. We played some Far Cry. I didn't really get into the Assassins. I just, like I said, I don't have a lot of time to put a lot of time in these games. So it's just certain certain games where it just grabs me. And I haven't really got into Division 2, and I enjoyed Division 1 with everybody, but, just whatever.
Dude, I never played the Division, the original one.
The original? Oh.
I remember that reveal trailer for it. I was like, oh my god, this looks so amazing. And then they came out, and I was like, I don't know. I better wait. And then people were. I already got a lot better near the end of the game. A lot of the updates for the Division, the original one.
Right.
Yeah.
But man, I really enjoyed Division 2.
I like the first one too. I like the story was good in my opinion.
It was
It's
cool.
very
just running
believable,
around
you
New
know. It's
York.
like it's kind of plausible. So really get into it.
I liked it. I liked the first one. I liked this. I thought the second one, for me, was simply better because I got in late, like I did with the first one, and I didn't feel like I was.
Yeah, the difficulty skills.
Yeah,
so that's good. You can still play with your friends.
And that was what I liked about it. I didn't feel like I was coming in and not being able to contribute, get my get my ass shot off with one kill, one hit. I just
I just hid behind Coop and let him shoot.
Well, yeah.
And I leveled up.
Yeah. The S.
Well, now you're
the
so
S in
strong and you
Super
can just
Cooper
keep on
is
running. You just attack them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I'm. Maybe you need to stream some breakpoints so I can see it, Peter.
I did. Nobody watched.
Oh,
Well, I didn't know when.
where were
When
you,
was this?
Michael?
I might have been in Texas.
No, I did it
Blame
like
it on me.
I think I did it when it came out.
When?
The Thursday, the Thursday before the poor man's version came out.
Well, so
The
that
regular
was
version.
so that was the third.
Poor man's version.
Poor man.
The non-gold, no, just the regular version. But yeah, that's when I streamed for I don't know how long. I mean, at the beginning, it was the same thing as the beta. It's like doing this exact same thing. It's like
Have you fought the Punisher guy yet?
the what guy?
The Punisher.
Oh, yeah.
John.
Bernal.
Bernal. Betherall.
Well, you see me in the beginning.
Berthenol.
But, I haven't found him after. I think I've only done like the first mission is like go to the cave, like the same thing as it was in the beta, and then after that, I think I did like one thing, and it was more by accident, and I did it yesterday with Coop and Nate, because we were doing the faction stuff, trying to collect that loot.
Get
But
that
yeah.
loot.
So I still need to do the mission still. That's how much fun it is. I just get lost in this game. I'm collecting stuff and exploring and finding all the bivouacs or
And
however you
what's
might
great
say
is
it. Beaverwax.
Beaver
Well,
wax
some
and all the
people-
proteins.
Beaver wax.
Some people have Ghost Recon Breakpoint to enjoy, and then you got Brah over here enjoying Division 2, and then you got people over here talking. I see people in chat talking about Borderlands 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 is fun.
It's great to be a gamer.
as well.
I never got into Borderlands.
I enjoyed Borderlands 1 a lot.
And
I
I've
played
never
a little bit
bought
of
a
two,
copy of it, and they had like on Xbox, they had like a free weekend or free week, and one of the versions, I think maybe it was 2. I played it; that was enjoyable, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I grabbed
Maybe.
the Handsome Collection, and I don't know. I mean, it's
Still
cool
digitally shrink wrap? No.
it's cool if you have a crew to play with,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
I don't know, by itself, it was just too much. I remember playing it on the 360 and getting stuck in some arena, and then just going, gosh, I don't want to play this anymore, and just turning it off. I mean, you know, I'm not a Borderlands guy either. So, did you get it, Thomas?
What's that? Borderlands 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing with Just Bro.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
It's pretty sweet.
all right.
I mean, it's still, it's Borderlands, better graphics and a little more fine tuned.
Got that sense of
So
humor.
that same old humor, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
poop jokes and all that. It's really addictive though. We played for a couple hours and like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I better go to bed. Like, yeah.
I love the.
Good idea.
The first one, I love the.
And then you look
gunplay.
at your watch again, and it's like, okay, it's
No,
3.
What the hell
I know my
happened?
limit. Okay, I know my limit.
Yeah.
It's apparently 8:30.
And like,
I'm telling you, man. The other night, I just sat on my couch and just bam.
Out like a light.
happens. Hey, I
It
did
does
that
happen.
a couple weeks ago too. Yeah.
Shoot, I've done it. Not on a podcast night, but I've done it. I can't lie.
Well, give us some time. Give us some time. Technical Fabulous, he brought up Link's Awakening.
Mm.
That's
Oh,
another
yeah.
big game.
It's
And
another big game.
I want to get that too. Yeah.
Telling
Love
you.
Zelda.
I've also been playing some Super Mario Brothers Deluxe,
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's
How is
fun.
that?
so that's fun.
Totally
It's
fun.
it's just fun to pick it up for a few minutes and play a level or attempt. I've never really played those Mario.
The Super NES.
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah.
So it's
You play
kind of the
Mario
first
World?
time. Yes, played that one.
Oh, okay. But say, what on earth, Pete?
No, but
Yeah.
No, seriously, that's an awesome game.
it is.
Even after all these years.
Even after all these years.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, what about anyone playing the Mario Kart on the phone? iPhone?
What? No.
I tried
Oh,
a
don't
few
have an
races.
iPhone.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Is it like that crazy stupid Forza game that you could only go forward?
No,
backward?
no. You steer and you can drift and throw your banana forward or backwards and all that stuff. Just Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's online.
Oh.
That's all right.
It doesn't look too bad either.
It doesn't look too
Graphics
bad.
are-
Yeah, I mean it's.
Frankie is gonna go down with the Battleborn ship.
Mm.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
we
go
don't-
down. He's gonna go down with Battleborn.
He's the only one that's got a poster of it.
I believe that's correct. I think he's the only one who does.
Well, I think it was also a limited edition poster, isn't it? one
think-
of one.
By the time he was done, he was also the only one still playing it.
Yes.
Is it still around? Is the service still up for it?
I don't know.
He would know.
He would. I don't know.
He ain't being serious, is he? Is he?
What? No, he loved Battleborn.
I saw it for $5 at Five Below.
Oh no, he's not. Yeah, I know. At Five Below. No,
was
I'm
like,
not. He's
oh.
not. He defended that game to the very end.
More power to him. I mean,
Yep.
I mean,
Yep. He took the air. He took the arrows. He took the arrows to the knee for it.
Yeah.
So while we were all talking about what was the game we were talking about that at the time?
Overwatch?
What was the other one?
Overwatch came out.
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
around the same time.
That's right. We were
Yeah.
all talking We were all talking about Overwatch. He's like, he was like, I remember we were talking about what he said. F that game, man. Battleborn. I'm like, what? But yeah, man, he hung in. He hung in on that. So good for that. Good for that. So, all right. So let's get to the.
So what happened this week?
Nothing. Not a thing. Nothing.
Well, show's over. Have fun, boys.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. So,
By the way, what's the theme song for the show? Is that just some generic music, or is that something you wrote? Or
no, I didn't write that. It's basically YouTube has a bunch of royalty-free music.
I figured
that's
something like
all
that.
it is. That's all it is. I
didn't know if it was like some old Sega music or something, or
No, I wish I could do that, but then I'd get we'd get copyright strikes. I don't want any of that crap. So, unfortunately, it's just. I'm surprised I didn't get anything for the Sega show we did where I used the Space Harrier intro, but no, all was good. So.
Well, my daughter's
maybe
what's a
they're
Space
glad
Harrier?
to keep the Sega spirit alive.
That's right. Sega's too busy not making any good games to worry about whether or not Space Harrier's music's being used.
5% it's porn music, bro.
Yes, I know. Niall has
There's
always
a rather erotic woman going "oh" or something like that in it.
oh no, it's not. Though.
Wow, chicken wow.
What happens when you got a bunch of old school gamers? You got 70
right.
form gaming.
Yeah.
That's right, man. Only gamers our age know what that music is.
Now it's like techno and.
Right. Well, now they're watching it on YouTube.
But, I mean, I'm sure they probably use techno music now. And
Look, folks, before there was stuff like Pornhub, us old guys had Cinemax. So that's all I can say. Cinemax, Saturday night after dark. That's all I can say.
After dark.
That's
After
nice.
dark.
I'm
Cinemax.
playing video games. I don't know what you were doing.
Sure, I was playing video games. That's what I was doing too. I was
Not a piano.
All right, so who's buying this spaceship?
The damn dev kit.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. All seriousness, though,
That is interesting as can be. Huh?
I would, if this was the actual design, and it's not because obviously there's no Blu-ray player on there. But if that was the actual
What's
design,
what's that slot underneath? Underneath
this?
the buttons.
Is that-
Right.
maybe that's. Oh, I see it.
slot.
Oh, okay.
There's
You know
a
what?
slip
It looks
right there.
like it almost looks like a card slot. Like it's small enough to be for one of these things. So
Yeah, they
come
make
on,
that
look.
the whole console look like it's a tiny little.
This is true. It does make
Like-
it look small.
It's not a PS5 retro
Look
yet.
like a docking
Right.
bay for something.
Right?
Yeah.
PS5 Mini. It's a PS5 Mini.
Coming
Yeah.
in for docking bay.
Dude, this would look freaking sweet on my entertainment center.
I mean, it'd be interesting if that comes out. similar
This
to
is
that.
not the
I doubt
design.
it.
This is not the
I know.
design.
I doubt it. Yeah.
Because they're saying this next gen is going to be the highest jump in computing power, right? Ever
Right.
in console history.
Right.
I mean, the PS4 can get pretty damn loud.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're like, okay, if we have vents on the whole damn thing, there's no way it can get hot.
Yes. See, I have some insider information. I've got a scoop that I'm going to break right here. So I found out from my secret contacts that the middle of that, see where the blue is in the middle? It's a holodeck. Holograms will pop up in the middle of the game you're playing.
How much is this thing going to cost? Damn, I got a budget. I got 2 kids.
It's a mortgage.
I thought you put
Yeah.
your shoe in there for some
Hey.
shoe shine as you.
A lifetime subscription.
Right. So that just make sure it's your shoe. All right. So this is not. I don't believe this is going to be the final design, but we do know that it is officially going to be the PlayStation 5.
Jim Ryan
Thank
was
goodness.
Like, what a
They
relief off my
mentioned it's
shoulders.
like we call the PS whatever it is. It's
I
like
mean,
that doesn't.
Yeah.
fit
Did we
the-
really think it'd be
Right.
called anything else?
The PlayStation Super Pro.
Yeah. The PS1 cannot be the PS1. But
No.
like, well, I hate that naming. What the heck?
The
Whoever came up with that
PlayStation.
name should get fired. What the heck?
For who?
Yeah. The Xbox?
Oh, the Xbox One.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the one and all
You did
entertainment.
get fired. You
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
did get fired.
Yeah,
I get it.
but just-
I get it, but
Yeah. But then they have the S and the X. And it's like,
sad.
Right,
think we
the sad version. Well, no, okay, stop. It was the Sade version. It was not the
Sade.
sad. It was the Sade.
Sade, it's French. Thanks. Okay, cool.
The singer, Sade, sexy.
Yes. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Sade.
Maybe it's going to be the X.
Complaining, but
All right, hang tight.
Oh.
Let's see. Let's see if we're back. Hold on.
still, it is
data
kind of
yet.
weird that Sean is. I mean, I actually thought about. I mean, he follows me. We follow each other on Twitter. I thought about.
Yeah,
messaging him.
I remember when he first, you're like, hey, I'm still waiting for Sean Layden to follow me.
Yeah,
and
then
he followed.
bam. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god.
All right, hold on. I think we're back. I see us again. Yes,
one
we're
chairman
back.
to another
Yeah.
wanted to message him
Yeah,
and
we
be
didn't
like,
say anything about Frankie.
Who?
Yeah.
oh
Whew.
yeah,
And
Sorry,
no, and thankfully didn't have to do anything with the link.
you're
So
dead.
thank goodness for that. So that was the one thing I always liked about Twitch was if something happened, we could come back to the same link. I'm glad to see I was able to do that here.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
all right. So, while my computer was frozen, I had a text from Jim Ryan that said, "Don't ever talk about Sony again like that, or I will do worse to your PC than just shut down your XSplit."
Damn.
Yeah. So apparently,
I didn't know he's a
Apparently
text. He seems pretty old.
apparently my insider information. So I'm gonna retire from being an insider.
You can burn your eyes when you're wearing that PSVR. You better watch out, sir.
Uh-huh.
You should have been happy. You were wearing the PSVR to open the
I
show,
was.
so-
I was wearing it.
Yeah.
I was trying to be supportive.
Don't worry, Shuhei's excited. At E3 2018,
Yeah, because he's got
He
his
loves-
job back. I mean, let's be honest. Shuhei, I'm sure he's remember when he was whichever E3 it was where he was sitting there in the rocking chair on stage, all free, all like, hey, is this live or Memorex? I'm sure he sat back with a stiff drink and said,
Sucker.
"Bye bye, Sean."
Yeah. dun, 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 dun.
So before we get to the big news, since since you weren't able to make it on with us last week, I do want to get your take on Sean Layden leaving PlayStation and kind of the way that it happened. Because Sly Collection, very nice.
Sorry.
Because let's be honest, it was kind of weird.
Odd. Yeah.
Yeah, odd's a good word for it. I'm not sure what the hell happened. He never. So the difference between, for those who don't know too, on the Microsoft side, having one of those moments. On the Microsoft side, after 20 years or whatever he said it was, Mikey Barra is also leaving Microsoft. So he's left that position. But here was the difference as far as I could see. What the hell is that?
Go ahead. Just don't worry about me. Go ahead.
The difference is Mikey Barra tweeted out that he was leaving. And he thanked Xbox, and I had such a great time, and I'll never forget you guys, and hey, I'm still going to be on Mixer, and blah, la, 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 la. And, Enchanted Portals. Oh, we could talk about that crap. Cuphead 2. But Sean, the only thing we ever got from Sean Layden's leaving was the tweet from PlayStation that unfortunately Sean's gone. And that's it. Like Sean himself, there was not a single studio in the worldwide studios had anything to say. Like there was
No, that's not true.
Who said? Because I never saw anything.
Pixel Opus said something. I know.
Did he?
Assad Quizzlebash, I think I said his name right.
Well,
he said something. I'm
talking about the official Twitters, like.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Like Naughty Dog or the Naughty Dog Twitter.
Oh, that's official.
Yeah, I know.
But I know. Yeah, Naughty Dog. What? Hold on. Let me make sure. Go
I'm
ahead.
pretty
Sorry.
sure. I looked. I was looking. It has been radio silence. Yeah,
I thought Neil Druckmann said something for some reason.
Neil
Or Corey Barlog. You didn't say anything?
Maybe Corey did.
I didn't see Corey say anything. Neil
Damn,
might
Corey
have.
tweets so much. That's a lot of
I
digging.
think I saw Neil.
Jeff said, "Note to self: don't piss off Jim Ryan." Well, they were. We talked. Peter and I talked about this last week. They were at odds.
Yeah.
Because Jim Ryan
read.
was not for crossplay, which is kind of funny that crossplay made it into the PS. I was like, Sean Layden's like, hey, Jim Ryan, and I'm out. So,
because Brah Hollow went crossplay today.
You know, do you think Jim Ryan would have showed up on stage with Phil Spencer and Reggie Fils-Aimé?
I don't know. He seems a little more old school. He seems.
Yes.
I'm not sure how old Jim is, but he looks kind of ancient. But
well, he's still trying to protect the children.
Yeah. That's what that article of mine, man. I mean, I totally went off, and it said something about I can't believe Sony's doing this shit or something. I cussed in the damn subject line of it. Well, I couldn't believe when they announced it, but everyone's telling me, everybody in Europe's like, no, man, Jim's not that bad. I promise you. Okay.
Okay.
Well, look how good it's been.
That's because I don't want to lose. They're telling you that because they don't want to lose their job.
Yeah.
I mean, just people on Twitter, not
okay. Yeah. Jim's fine.
Thumbs up for Jim.
Thumbs up.
Hashtag kids for Jim. Not a bad laugh at my own joke.
Who was
Dirty J?
Who was the other guy? Yeah, Dirty J's here. Sure to get dirtier before he gets clean this weekend.
Yeah. That's all right.
Who was the Japanese executive that left also? He was also friends with Sean Layden. He's the one that brought Sean Layden, right?
Oh, I think talking about the he was the president of Sony Interactive Japan.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard he's retired. That he was 60 years old.
Yeah, he was 60. We talked about that last week too. That
and then, well, what I was gonna say real quick that you know, Japanese very traditional, right? So if someone else, whoever's taking over after him, they're gonna bring up their people, right? So Sean Layden was part of this other guy. You know, it's like, and then there was something going on behind the scenes, some difference of opinions on how things should be, this and that. It seemed like there's some they're streamlining. It seemed like you got different people up there, and they're gonna have their own people. Other people. So Jim Ryan's in right now. So I think it's too soon to really say.
It is interesting though.
This and that. You know what I mean? It is interesting.
Because
who knows what's going to happen going down the future? Like what decisions they're making now is going to affect PlayStation going forward. We don't know that.
Atsushi Morita, by the way, was the person that retired. If
you've been listening to Sean Layden the past year, he was kind of talking about. He said he was open to crossplay. He said that that gaming is going to expand. That consoles will just be a tabletop device, and eventually you'll log into different devices. And then Jim Ryan definitely sounded more old school approach.
Right, like this is what we're doing.
A closed console.
So he did sound more like Sony Japan, because remember at the investors meeting earlier this year, they both said, look, PlayStation is still a niche product, and that
100 million sold.
Well, but in the grand scheme of things,
I know, right? It's just funny.
I know what he was saying.
Yeah.
See, and that's the difference between what you see on Twitter and what the real world, what the investors see. They understand that, right? That's not. They sell more. They sell more TVs and stereos than that. I mean, they just do. So that is a drop in a bucket for them. Although it is one of their main resources. Yeah, it is. It's one of their. It's
very lucrative drop.
Very much so. Hey, Siberia. I don't subscribe to any of the wild theories that they're up for sale. I don't think.
Yeah.
We
really don't know what's going on. Besides, we're seeing some changes going on the upstairs.
So, but it is weird.
Ooh, Amazon.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and unfortunately, when you have changes like that, people get affected and they lose their jobs.
Well, sure.
You know, hopefully, a lot of those people are able to land a job soon somewhere else.
All I'm going to say is this. The internet will absolutely implode if at XO19 Phil Spencer standing out on stage. He's got his little jacket over his shirt. Pulls his jacket open a little bit. You see part of a picture.
It's Sean Layden's head.
And then all of a sudden, Jim Ross says, "My God, that's Sean Layden's music!" And Sean Layden comes walking out on stage.
Dun 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 dun.
The internet will explode.
He's taking over from Mikey Burrow.
My God, Sean Layden.
Sean
Layden,
Layden. I was like, what? The lights went out. The lights went out. The lights come back on. He's standing there. He's standing there with a steel chair behind.
Spill. Yeah, he knocks Phil out. This is the house that Layden built.
Oh my God! All right. So anyway,
I saw a show. Okay, I have a feeling we're about to have a show.
Invader. Oh my God! The crew in the chat room tonight. Oh my boys!
Dude.
I wonder who's playing Sean Layden.
A lot of awesome people in chat.
Yep. So
who did I have playing? I had Vince Vaughn playing Phil Spencer in the movie one time. It was like Console Wars the movie, and like it was Vince Vaughn as Phil. The rest of the cast. Tom Cruise is somebody. Andrew House, yeah, because
Tom Cruise is Andrew House. Oh my goodness!
It was something ridiculous, man. But I had like Console Wars the movie.
Well, you had to get Kevin. What's his name? Kevin Butler back then. Kevin Butler as Jack Trenton.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever happened to Jack, by the way?
I don't know. It's a good question. He was like, "Hey guys, I'm retiring."
Oh. Yeah. So there is, Peter and I discussed this last week. Is there any? Think about it though. If you think about it, Sean Layden is the latest, but I mean Jack Trenton, Andrew House, I mean Kaz retired. I mean the entire kind of that whole PlayStation section.
Some turnover.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of that entire division of the big names that you were used to seeing on stage and stuff like that. Not I was being facetious about Kevin Butler. Kevin Butler's an actor. That's different. He was cool. That I'll never forget that Gran Turismo commercial he did with the car. It's like, you got to get out of the car now, sir. And he goes, ha 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 ha, drives off with it. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorites. But in all honesty, who becomes the faces of PlayStation now? Because Jim Ryan can't. I'm sorry. After the
he's a little rough.
After the we're protecting our children debacle, I don't think he should be allowed to. He should not be allowed to speak in public. So
I think they probably got a couple PR people over his shoulder going, Jim, okay, say this, don't say this. Okay, it's a test. What should I say? This. No, Jim, say this.
Right. He starts talking and they go, no.
But who's going to tell him no now?
I will. I'm the Brahmin, damn it.
That's right.
No, Jim.
So, Jack Trenton is a member of the advisory boards for Genitar, an artificial intelligence startup, and Life Apps Digital Media, a digital publisher of products and services focused on health, fitness, and sports topics. So there you go.
That's cool.
So he's still. Let's see what Andrew House is doing. Andrew House simply is the former chair of Sony Interactive Entertainment.
I think he's retired, man. I think he's just tired of. I bet you $5 he'll be in Death Stranding. Okay.
Oh wait a minute, hold on. Oh, here we go.
Okay, sorry.
Oh no, former Sony Interactive CEO Andrew House joins Key PR's advisory board. The leading hospitality technology company whose cloud-based platform integrates to an end-to-end experience for guests and staff through embedded and mobile devices. So he works in the hotel industry or something like that.
What?
Yeah. Key PR provides hotels with a custom mobile guest app, digital key, in-room tablets, and staff-facing hotel management system. So he is completely gotten out of gaming.
Gaming. Look, last time I saw Andrew was on the PSX stage, and him and Kojima were like laughing and joking it up. And I bet you Andrew House will be in Death Stranding as somebody. I'm serious. He's been getting all his friends and putting them in the game. So him and Andrew House had the jokes, and they laughed, and they spoke in Japanese, and it was telling you. Andrew will be back.
He was
November 8th.
he was arrogant as crap, but I didn't dislike him. So that's just I didn't terribly dislike him.
Anytime.
You know, but he was but he was a bit arrogant.
Who's the other guy? Andy.
Oh right, who went to Iron Galaxy?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about not Andy.
Yeah, Adam Boyes.
Yeah, Adam Boyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was cool. I met him.
Yeah. I thought he was cool, and then he did well when he was up there speaking in front of everybody.
My wife thought it was hilarious. Like, he's so funny. I'm like, no one else laughed, babe.
But like Sean Layden, when he first came into the scene, he seemed kind of nervous, right? Kind of like this is not something that he was normal. But over time, he kind of grew into it, and he seemed like a very humble guy, and was a little bit more relatable, and was able to seem like he responded to gamers more.
I met him, man. He was a really nice guy.
Yeah, like he seemed
really down to earth.
Like how Phil, and you got Phil and Aaron Greenberg and them, they're very relatable. They talk to people, gamers, and this and that. I think Sean Layden, that's what he was for Sony. I think he was a likable guy.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of sad to see him going. And from what I've read, his history, it seems like he's done a lot of good things for Sony.
Yeah, he did all kinds of shit around the world.
Well, how do you think they got Insomniac?
That's what I was gonna say. Like some of the work that he did to be able to go over there and speak to developers and be able to bring in Insomniac and get some of these games done for a third party. I mean,
well, if you remember, I don't know if you watched how much of last week's show you caught up on, but you have to remember how. So like him and Phil at their respective companies started in a totally different capacity than getting into the gaming side. So like Phil Spencer was part of the Microsoft Encarta team, the map software. That's where he got his start. Yep. Sean Layden
was he a secretary or assistant or something to one of the big shots?
Yeah, he was the communications assistant for the co-founder of Sony. He started there in '87.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. He managed Sony London, Sony Computer Entertainment London, and then he went to he was in Japan for 3 years. So I mean, he knew what he was doing, and I think as he got comfortable in his role, I think it. Hey, good night, Indy. As he got comfortable in his role, I mean, he just became, as Chris said, more likable. I liked him. I thought he was he was the one who rarely took a shot at anybody else. Like he wasn't like Jack. Jack Tretton's famous for that 2013 Sony press conference, right? We love used games and taking shots that throwing haymakers. Sean wasn't like that. Sean just loved games. He just and I respected the hell out of that.
And you started seeing him getting with Phil, and when some of these shows, and taking pictures together and talking. Yeah, appreciate it, Andy. we need to try to get Indy on whenever he's going to go. What EGX here soon?
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah, we'll get him on. I asked him if he might come on after EGX.
Yeah.
So, and he's also proficient. I tell you honestly, and if they're smart, Microsoft took a shot at trying to bring him on, and I'll tell you why. I think that, and this is just me, I think that Sean Layden has a PR capability that I think. Sorry, guys. I think Larry Herb's time is coming to an end. I just he used to be
Bud White gloves.
He used to be like, I remember in the 360 days when I used to we'd be standing in line for the E3 press conference, and he would just like be walking up and down the line talking to people, fist bumping, shaking hands. He just seems like he is not happy. He always looks like he's unhappy. And I'm not sure that I don't know. We've talked about this before. I know you guys, I think it's you, Peter, that prefer
AC Bongos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, AC Bongos, he's fun. Just you can hear it in his voice and everything. I don't dislike Major Nelson, but I do think that he'd be better behind the scenes. He's got the experience.
Which is what he used to be.
I don't think he needs to be the face of inside Xbox, the media part for Xbox anymore.
No. But imagine Sean Layden out there. I mean, I'm being serious. Imagine him. Imagine.
No, I don't think that's.
He seems a little too stiff.
Yeah, I don't see Sean Layden taking that role as far as the Major Nelson, but I could see Sean Layden coming in,
maybe being the third party guy.
Coming in as a consultant and helping with the third party development, especially in Japan and so on.
Especially because
how come Mikey Barr didn't do more video work? He did not. I met Mike. He was a really nice to get along with dude.
Yeah, a lot of people said they enjoyed meeting Mike. Yeah.
Really? Because his online persona doesn't really match his.
Yeah, it's a little more.
Seems dry.
Yeah.
Right.
Because maybe he had some drinks in him.
He seems.
Like, yeah, man. Yeah.
He's always seemed kind of like very standoffish.
Yeah.
Which rubs me the wrong way. Which is what I kind of lost about Larry. Like Larry, he seems a bit standoffish now too. Like I used to scoff at people who used to like mock his like smile, but now I kind of get it. The more I I gotta be here kind of smile. And I just I don't know. So Mikey Barra though wasn't a developer publisher guy. I mean, he was a system designer. So he was always in the background. And remember, he was vice president of program management. So it wasn't that he was. He just wasn't interfacing with companies outside of maybe the backward compatibility thing. I know before he left he was the vice president for Xbox Live and Game Pass, and that was cool. So he kind of had a little hand.
Didn't he also have something to do with dashboard development?
Yeah, he was part of that. That was the program management.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not saying he was a bad guy. Just he's not the guy that I would put up in the face of companies either. But
I don't think he was really put in the face. I think because he seemed like he took it upon himself to kind of help promote Mixer, so he would get on there and he did it in his own streams and he interacted with people and he did. I don't know if he did giveaways. I think he did.
Yeah, he did giveaways. I won some stuff before.
Yeah,
like live.
So I think overall, he was pretty cool as far as, you could tell he was a gamer, right? And it didn't matter if it was Xbox game or not, if it was
Or
on
PC,
or
right?
console.
He
So,
very much, yep.
He showed that he was a gamer first, and yes, he did. Definitely was pro Xbox, of course, because he worked there. But I mean, yeah, I don't think really he's not he's not an Aaron Greenberg. Aaron Greenberg's he's very good in front of in public as PR and all that. So and yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I appreciate Mikey Barra. I think he's a cool dude and all that, but whatever his next adventure, cool. I mean, Microsoft
Nintendo.
is huge. There is always someone else there. I'm sure someone's going to come in and fill his space, whatever. So,
What was his space? He changed his profile too fast on me. Was he the head of not the head of Xbox, or like the vice head or the co-head?
Co-head.
I don't know.
Cuphead. His last official title was corporate vice president of Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass. He did have a lot to do with what came in Game Pass.
Yeah, he did in the beginning. Yeah, when it started.
The state of Xbox Live is not what it used to be, though. Stability and other stuff. So it's like, who knows?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with them incorporating PC. Now it's all part of the whole one ecosystem, and it's not very stable. So
yeah.
No.
Real quick on Larry, like you said in chat, Mike. I think Larry Herb is better. I've listened to the podcast that he does, and he sounds great in that. But yeah, lately on the inside, like
he doesn't. He out in the public, he's not the same guy. I'm sorry.
And who's the other guy?
Well, I mean,
Jeff
Keighley?
Rubenstein or
Rubenstein. Yeah,
He used to do
Rubenstein.
PlayStation back in the day.
He's
Sorry,
like,
dog.
he doesn't sound great either,
no.
like in the shows. No,
Sounds
I'm
more
like,
exciting than Larry Herb, though.
yeah, both of them.
Yeah, we'll
Fine,
see.
yeah.
Hopefully, I'd like to see AC Bongos kind of take that up. But we'll,
Right.
AC
I mean, he's
Bongo.
now here in the U.S., so
yeah,
Right,
that maybe.
right in Redmond. So
Yeah.
AC Bongo.
yeah.
Anyway, so we got a little bit off the beaten path, but
We did?
a little bit. So,
He's a social marketing manager for Xbox. Okay.
who?
AC Bongos?
Yeah, he's
Graham
so,
Boyd?
Graham, yeah, because remember, Graham at one time was the European version of Larry Herb. He moved over here to take that spot.
Poor guy.
So,
From London to
so
Took the spot, but Larry is still there, or
yes. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends on. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure
I
they
think that other
millions.
guy there.
retire, bruh.
He's still listed
probably
as
will.
Larry Herb is still listed as the director of programming for Xbox Live, which is probably why he does Inside Xbox and all that, because he's the programming
Yeah.
director. So,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
He needs to delegate.
Yes. So,
I'm done with this shit.
right?
I'm out.
Goddamn white gloves.
Here's a tweet. It's just the gloves sitting there in black and white photo, and
Right.
He's probably like, damn millennials.
Yeah.
what
Alright,
did I
so-
say
like
about
that,
that
so-
damn game?
All right, so let's get back to the PlayStation 5, because we actually really asked you to come on here to talk about this time.
They announced it. Did they announce it?
They did. So the PlayStation 5 happening
Well, it's
on
official.
yes,
Next year.
yes.
November.
So that is holiday 2020. So there you go.
Start
Not-
setting, boys.
Not this holiday, next
Yeah, no
holiday.
surprise.
Yeah.
So we're
But it's
looking at,
kind of like we expected that, right?
yeah,
was
Is,
right
There was people predicted 2019 all over
Oh,
yeah,
my timeline.
Really?
nah.
Past 2 years.
I think I was thinking 20 because and 20 is the birthday for the US for PlayStation.
Yeah, it's 25 years old.
25 years.
Yeah,
Well, plus
so
you're 7
25
years.
this year in Japan.
You're going to be
I
7
always
years
thought it would be
in.
2020. Like
Yeah.
this year is the birthday for PlayStation in Japan.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
Right.
next year it's the U.S. So if what everybody's saying that the U.S. division of Sony is taking over everything, making all the decisions, I guess they're
Well,
like, this thing is coming out in 2020 because
well,
that's the birthday,
that
PlayStation birthday.
that
I'm
and
just,
the cost.
joking.
Well, that and the cost needs to come down. I mean, it needs another year. If
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
Chips
yeah.
inside.
for what they're
Yeah.
putting in there.
Yeah.
So, and Microsoft now they did the same thing. So if you look at, the Project Scarlet page, they also say holiday 2020. So these guys are going up
Yeah,
against each
yeah.
other again.
Surprise.
Yeah. So,
What?
well,
Well,
neither
neither one
company
is going to allow each other to get 1 year ahead of each other. Like,
exactly.
you know.
That's
This
never
is
gonna
only what
happen
the second
again.
time they'll be head to head, right? Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
original Xbox the year after,
Yep.
Xbox 360 was the year before PS3. So okay,
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they're never gonna
they'll
get
both do awesome.
that. Yeah, they're never gonna let that happen again. So here's what we know. So holidays 2020. So you're probably we're looking at the normal. I'm thinking November.
Yeah.
We'll say November 5th or November 8th or whatnot, beginning of November, right before the Thanksgiving rush.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. No pricing yet. So this is where E3 is coming in next year, hopefully.
They whisper the price in the end, like.
Yeah, I can't imagine it more than 5 or less than 5. Like,
Yeah, there can't be.
I'm pretty.
You
stuck
can't
at
be.
it.
Can't be 600 unless it's
No,
like
it can't.
the
It's
super
gotta
mega
stay.
ultra edition with your
Well,
mom.
Yeah.
And,
Unless they do it like,
500's
what
gotta
we
be
get
the
with the
most.
phones, where they, they drop the middle and then, so they drop the Pro, and then you have this super deluxe.
I was gonna
PS5.
say the latest
Who knows,
iPhone,
yeah.
the latest iPhone's $1,000, and it's this size. So I mean,
Yeah.
So here's why. Here's what's in it as far as what they told Wired magazine. All right, so it's gonna have the AMD Ryzen line CPU. All right, it's gonna have a Navi family GPU. It's going to have, as you can see right on the screen there, an SSD drive. So they are going to do, so the ray tracing that they talked about will be hardware ray tracing in some form. So it's in the GPU. And still, look, solid state drives are still expensive. The pricing on that has not come down like people thought it would. And I mean,
And not SSDs are created equally.
and not
that
all
too.
SSDs are created equally.
So if you want to do,
Yeah.
So we don't know what version they're going to put in there, right? What
We
brand?
also don't know what size.
Yeah.
Because right now, I mean, just going on, and this is I'm going to admit right now, this is the absolute worst way to price anything out is to go on Amazon, but I'm going to do it anyway.
if you're buying 50 million of them, I'm sure you're getting a pretty nice
Right.
cut as compared to
I mean,
Joe Snow buying one. Hey.
yeah, I mean a good
What?
1 terabyte SSD drive is still $150, $160. So that's
they
a
gonna-
hundred. That's a.
Are they going to
$1.50 right
bake the
there.
SSD into the hardware? Is it gonna be
That is a good question.
Or,
Considering that some SSDs are basically just chipset,
yeah.
that's an interesting question.
But here's another thing: is it gonna be 1 or 2? Maybe one for your OS and all the other stuff, and then
That's,
the other one
yeah,
for
that.
who knows?
Yeah.
It's like a hybrid.
the hype.
No, not a hybrid. 2, just 2 SSDs.
One for like you said, OS. And,
one like on a card,
yeah.
OS
And then one.
thing, and one for the rest of your games and install
Well, I
and
guess it's.
stuff.
I
don't know.
guess it's. I guess it's going to depend on how big that drive is.
But 2 1 gigabytes are cheaper than 1 2 or 1 terabyte. 2 terabytes. 2 1 terabytes are cheaper than 1 2 terabyte.
True. Well, I don't know, and they didn't say.
No.
they basically just talked about, Mark Cerny just basically talked about, what having an SSD drive in there would be, which they talked about last year at the investor meeting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we know what it's going to do. It's going to drastically speed up load times.
Yes.
But here's what Cerny said that I'm an IT guy by trade. So I looked at this a couple times and I'm kind of wondering how much BS this might be. So this is what he says. It said also because of the seek time, the developers will duplicate certain game assets to form continuous data blocks for drives to read faster. Whereas with an SSD drive, because there really is no seeking, that all of a sudden they might use more unique assets for the game.
Is that too ambitious or what?
No. I don't know. You still have to take up space with that. So I don't know. That sounded a little odd, but
What? That sounds odd.
yeah. So it says if you look at a game like Marvel Spider-Man,
I don't know, man.
there's some pieces of data duplicated 400 times on the hard drive. The SSD sweeps away all the need for that duping, so it's not only raw speed, but saves crucial space.
Yeah, I believe that. It's all optimized because when you have to load like a lot of assets in, like you're running. Well, let's take Spider-Man for instance. You run through the city and you have all those textures and they have to be streamed in and other stuff. If it's all over the place on your hard drive, it's kind of chugging to keep up and loading all those textures. So if they're all like sequential already, like all the textures within that particular stream are all like stored sequentially. You don't have to seek for it. You can just keep reading and keep streaming those things. So now with the SSD, you don't have to do that anymore because with the SSD you can, there's no difference in time by picking stuff on one side of the chip versus the other side. While with hard drives, it's like you have your platters, and then within your platters you have your
and you have your
sectors
needles
and all the other stuff. Yeah, exactly. So that takes time.
Yeah, none of that's right. SSD has none of that.
So we eliminate that. With SSDs.
Okay.
No, I get the speed thing is one thing. I don't know.
I mean, you can make your hard drives faster. They spin faster. You know.
Absolutely.
You still have to. You still have your seek. You still have to have that arm that moves all the way across. And so.
Well, what about some cloud help with some of that?
I don't think they have
they
don't have the facilities for that unless they really go Azure.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be.
I thought that's why they were looking at using some Azure.
Possibly,
I thought that was more for like the PSN and PS Now, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be. I mean, they didn't really go into detail.
So,
what all they were utilizing that for.
Jim Ryan may be pulling that string back. Nope.
I saw Witty in the chat. So Witty.
Oh,
Witty.
He said I'm more interested in the size of SSD, and I said, yeah, that's what you said.
So Frankie's asking, am I wrong in thinking that SSDs have a high failure rate, or is that not a thing? It was at the beginning. I think SSDs have way, because if you think about it, SSDs are in most of your like Surface Pros and tablets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So SSDs have come a long way since you're right. At first, there was a lot of high failure rate, much like USB drives. But no, I think we've gotten to a point where that's not.
It's no longer an issue.
Yeah. Now, he also said, I'm going to scroll up. He also said they made it sound like they're still looking at keeping them upgradable. I think with the advent of being able to add external drives, I don't think that's as big a thing anymore.
All right.
So
Yeah,
Maybe that's why the
especially if this one is like, optimized and more tightly integrated with the whole board. It might not be easily, to swap out. Maybe you can. I don't know. But
that's what the slot is right here. That's where your external whatever is gonna go in there.
External whatever.
your external whatever.
2 terabyte whatever.
They're doing what the 360 did.
So
There you go. There's a smart gun.
But
Up on the
I'm
side.
afraid that the hard drive size is going to be not as big as we are hoping for PlayStation as well as Xbox.
Yep. So a couple other things that Cerny talked about. The UI is going to get an upgrade. So, he said things like multiplayer game servers will provide the console with a set of joinable activities in real time. Single-player games will provide information like what missions you could do, what rewards you might receive for completing them, kind of like the achievement trackers. And so the UI is going to get an upgrade, but he hasn't really. There wasn't really a whole lot about whether or not it's going to move off of the cross, the cross pull, the whatever they called it, which was it was functional. It worked. It was always fast. Hey, what's up, Z Black Rider?
The problem I had, one of the things he mentioned was that you'll be able to download games separately. Like, let's say if you want to download the multiplayer part first, the single player. That was supposed to be a PS4 function. I mean, some games do it.
Yeah, you know what they
remember the initial PS3 reveal? They were like,
Yep.
Let's say you're playing Killzone and you're downloading it off the PSN. You can choose to download the multiplayer first or the single player. I almost like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
I've already heard this 6 years ago.
Right. Well, the whole thing about being able to start up a game while it's still downloading, PlayStation did that better than Xbox, for sure. The only game I ever saw that had the separate multiplayer was Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And you could actually uninstall the campaign and still have the wrecking zone, or vice versa. So, then they talked about the new controller that will have adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. So,
is that what the Xbox has, or is rumble triggers?
So no, apparently. So I looked this up because somebody said, "Well, wait a minute, Xbox One controllers already had haptic feedback," and I don't remember ever playing a game that felt like it. So I went looking it up, and yes, they are capable. Forza apparently is one of the only games that uses it, unless somebody can tell me otherwise. They called them impulse triggers. So the Xbox One wireless controller has 4 vibration motors, a small one behind each trigger that provides precise haptic feedback to the fingertips.
I like it.
I don't remember anything outside of Forza 5 using it, unless somebody could tell me otherwise. And maybe it's just I didn't pay much attention to it. So that is something that is coming to the new, I guess, DualShock.
Can you call it DualShock anymore? I mean, it's not really if it's haptic feedback, it's not really the little motors anymore. I mean, it's time for a new name.
Well,
in my opinion.
But if they're calling the console the PlayStation 5, why don't they call the DualShock the DualShock 5?
That's true, yeah.
So Cerny said it did. Cerny in this article said they did not have a name for it yet. So you might get your wish. So the
article right there,
yeah. Now, what is really interestingly cool to me is the adaptive trigger part. So the adaptive trigger offers varying levels of resistance. So if you're shooting, so what they said was to make shooting a bow and arrow feel like the real thing, the tension increasing as you pull the arrow back, or make a machine gun feel far different than a shotgun. So not just the haptic feedback, but actual. And what that reminds me of is way back in the day on the PC, Microsoft brought out a joystick called the Sidewinder, and it was the force feedback joystick. And the big game the big game that they sold that on was Star Wars Jedi Academy, the Jedi Knight series of games, because you had when you had your lightsaber and you were lightsaber dueling with people, the joystick would actually fight back as you were, and made it feel like you were actually trying to wield a lightsaber. This is kind of like of that ilk where, if you're playing a Tomb Raider game and she's pulling back on the bow and it's harder to pull the trigger at the end than it is at the beginning, that's cool. That's very cool.
Here's my question: how much is the damn DualShock 5 going to cost?
$200
outside the box. I mean,
$200.
This new feedback. They stepped at me. It's like, dude, how much are we going to pay for this bitch?
Hey, what would be funny is if they go, and we're going. Instead, Jim Ryan's in control. We're going old school. We're going to go back to batteries.
Hey, he's going to have a larger battery. So I'm wondering if that means no more lights in them, and no more.
Apparently, too, if I read this right, the sticks also have that kind of feedback on it. So the guy said he was playing. Good night, Frankie. Thanks for, as always, our NLG alumni. So the guy who was playing the demo said he got to play a demo of Astrobot Rescue Mission, and as he went through different surfaces, the sticks felt different. Sand was slow and sloggy. Mud was slow and soggy. Ice was very fast. He said on ice, a high frequency response made the thumbsticks really feel like my character was gliding. So
that's cool.
That's
really cool.
Jumping into a pool, I got a sense of the resistance of the water. So imagine you're on a wooden bridge. He says on a wooden bridge, a bouncy sensation. So I mean, imagine that. Now, Z Black Rider saying the new Elite controller has that. Is that true? I mean, I'm gonna believe him.
Especially if it's going in, that's going to be a controller that's going to be out for a while. They're going to be pushing. So
yeah.
I mean, does it? I don't know.
I don't know if it has real time. I mean, it's got tension. I do know it has tension adjustable thumbsticks, but does it change with what you're doing? So Z Black, if you've got one and it does that, let us know in the chat, because that'd be pretty badass.
Red Dead Redemption 2 would be a good game to test all that out.
Oh yeah,
you have the different environments, swamp, the snow area,
especially when you have to hold A. So yeah, haptic triggers. The original controller has haptic triggers, and I do know that they have. You've got the hair trigger lock, but I didn't know if it had. Yeah, it's just tensioners. That's what I'm reading here too. So, the like I said, it's pulling some things that the Xbox controller had already, but the adaptive part, that's pretty cool. And whether or not Microsoft's going to do the same thing, I don't know, but that's really cool. And then the guy played Gran Turismo Sport that they had ported over on the to the PS5 dev kit, and he said the same thing. Driving on the dirt and driving on the track, he could feel the difference. And when he tried playing the same thing using a DualShock 4, it didn't work at all, because they took rumble out of Gran Turismo Sport. So the next gen controller will use a USB Type-C controller for charging.
Yeah, I mean, cool.
Well, it's the latest.
The future of
my Samsung phone does that.
Yeah, same here.
Larger capacity battery, which means that it's still going to be internal. So and then the last bit of information from that Wired article was Blue Point making a game for the PS5. So he said, we're working on a big one right now, says Marco Thrush, president of Blue Point Games, which most recently worked on last year's PS4 remake of Shadow of the Colossus. I'll let you figure out the rest.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yep. So he said, and Thrush says that the SSD is what really has him excited. You don't need to do gameplay hacks anymore to artificially slow players down, lock them behind doors, anything like that. Back in the cartridge days, games used to load instantly. We're kind of going back to what consoles used to be. So
I'm cool with that.
yeah. So what do you guys? So does this? And obviously, Thomas, you were on board from the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
so
naturally,
this doesn't change any of that. But does it? I mean, for everybody else, does it increase your hype for the console? Is it enough to say, well, that's the one I'm getting, and Scarlet's out?
No, I mean it sound. I like what I'm hearing. I will be more excited when I see the full version out. See what it looks like. See some gameplay being played, in real time, and the price. If they keep this at $500, then that'd be and back compatible with all PS4 games. If it's only back compatible with certain games, then I will be disappointed. There's a lot of games on the PlayStation and PS4 that I need to catch up on. So.
Oh, definitely.
So I may just hold on to the PS4 for a little longer.
Peter, you okay?
Games and then jump to
what's going on with Peter over there?
Yeah, Peter's fault. You okay, Peter?
Peter,
you okay? I don't think he can hear us now.
Change his mic or something.
Yeah.
Peter, no.
He said I'm playing Breakpoint.
Right.
Yeah, screw you guys. I don't give a damn.
I'm getting PS5. I'm gonna play Breakpoint.
So this is. It's funny you mentioned that because I wasn't looking for this at all, but as I was looking at the PlayStation, as I was sort of culminating all the PlayStation announcement pieces from this, I ran across something. Backward compatibility, and this is what I don't understand. I'm like dumbfounded. If I'm wrong about this again, I guess I don't know. I don't understand how, but PS5 backward compatibility is still being worked on as Sony investigates complete compatibility.
Well, I know PS3 didn't play all the PS2 games, and there's a list somewhere.
No,
I don't think it's the biggest list in the world, but I know there was some PS2 games that didn't work on the PS3 early on.
Right.
It doesn't have to play. Well, I don't need it to play every game, but I'm hoping that it can play the games that I want to play. The ones that I'm interested in. So, if for some reason they say, well, it's only back compatible all the way back to Uncharted 4, God of War, and Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2, I'm like, okay.
But this is what I don't understand.
How did it work on the Xbox One? It's all emulation, right?
It is.
And
but
did Microsoft do most of the work for the companies?
Yes, because they said originally that all the companies had to do was give permission. But here's the thing:
What if the company says no, we want to do a remaster? Could that happen? Maybe or
well, they've done.
I'm just asking.
They've done that. They've done both. I think Activision has done that. I think Peter's having trouble with his headset.
Yeah.
Peter,
can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. So
yeah, I can hear now too. My headset died. Batteries are dead.
We were just talking about backward compatibility. The PS5 Sony has not confirmed full backward compatibility with the PS4 yet. They're still working on it, but that's really this doesn't make sense to me. Again, as an IT guy, we're not jumping into a different category of chips. When we when we went from the PS1 to the PS2, there was whatever the PS1 chipset was to the emotion engine, from the emotion engine to the cell, from the cell to PC hardware. Same thing with the Xbox. The Xbox started off with PC hardware, went to a power PC, then went back to PC hardware. So I understand the need to emulate, and I understand why PS4 really couldn't emulate PS3 very well, which is why they do the streaming. I get that. And I get why the Xbox 360 games need an emulation. But we're not moving off of PC hardware. We're going from AMD chips to AMD chips. We're going from, we're able to scale. Microsoft has said that the Xbox, that Project Scarlet will play all Xbox One games. Which
all of them for sure.
Yes.
But
It says all your current games will be forward compatible to play on Scarlet.
right.
So,
but remember, it still needs to they still need they need to test them all, because remember the whole thing about we're not working on BC titles anymore because we have to make sure that our current titles and etc. work on Scarlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, with the hardware, you have different components. Remember when we went from the Xbox One and S to the X, where they took out whatever that chip is, the ES RAM and stuff. Oh no, from the 360 to the Xbox One. So you probably have some hardware specific things, like from PS4 to PS5, as well as from Xbox One to Scarlet, that APIs target and games are written specifically to squeeze every ounce of the optimization based on hardware and APIs. So I think they want to cover themselves a little bit by not saying everything is backwards. All your previous titles will work, just in case there's some exceptions. If Microsoft says if everything will play and one title does not,
people are going to be.
Oh yeah, people are going to be.
You son of a bitch is lying to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, but
I can't play that Barbie game.
But Dan McCulloch said that. Dan McCulloch said that straight out. All of your Xbox One games will play on. And in fact, hold on, let me see.
It's at all 4 generations, right?
They did. So they're working. So all that emulation
Xbox
comes
game
forward.
better work.
So,
People be on Twitter rip him a new one.
right. I
would love if the PS5 played PS1 through 4.
But it should at least play PS4. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Shizno in the chat though is saying exactly what I keep he's got the same stance I do. Sony has no excuse for not having full backward compatibility, save for Xbox. It's still x86 hardware. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying, but I mean,
what's the difference when we?
Look at PC. Look at how many Windows 95 games still play. They're not all of them.
No, but all your games that are on Windows 7 and up, actually all your XP games and up, pretty much work. So if you buy a game,
most of them, some of them do not work anymore.
But that's also the OS. That's not, because remember, a lot of those old games you could play in DOSBox, too. So it's not necessarily. I'm not talking about the OS side, because I think Microsoft.
We're talking about hardware side.
Yeah. How many games that you play on a top of the line GPU can you not play on a TX 800 or whatever? They all do. You just scale down. the graphics and look what happened between the Xbox base and S and the X. You have performance modes. You have, it knows when you, and this is the other thing too, when you load a game into the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, because it downloads those games, it knows to go grab the correct assets. Will Scarlet do the same thing? Will your Halo Infinite disc know that when you put it in a base Xbox One, it's only going to grab this? If you put it into a Scarlet, it's going to grab all this, what's right for Scarlet, and if you have an X, will it grab that? Because it's got to go out and get that stuff from Xbox Live, and I think Sony's the same way. I would find it. I'm still holding on to this. I still would find it hard to believe that 100% compatibility from this current gen.
Right, but here's
Just
another
from
thing:
this
is
current.
like your hardware is faster. Certain components are faster, so your games might run unpredictable.
True. I mean, that's
where they got to do a little bit of
and that's where you have to do all in the
up.
OS and your APIs, etc. That all has to be fine tuned, and
Move.
So,
but I mean,
it's more complicated than than going to PC and have
Flipping a
slapping
switch.
another graphics card in there, and now a 2080 TX Super plus plus plus.
But that's what Xbox has been preaching pretty much this gen with Xbox One, is that, hey, it doesn't, we've added OG games, we've added 360, and it doesn't matter if you're on the OG, the S, or the X. So, like Mike has been saying for a while, do we really consider the next consoles the next generation just because they're upgraded, or is it the next generation? So we're going to the next upgrade from the X. I expect just like when I went from the OG Xbox One to the S, my library carried over. All my games I can play. Same thing going from the S to the X. I expect the same thing going to the Scarlet. And it should have no interruption. Now, I do understand, like you're saying, that some of these games are going to have to get optimized with the faster
absolutely.
hardware.
Absolutely.
And like Whitty had brought up too, some of these developers, you still got to negotiate with them and so on, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, but I expect that the majority of the games will carry over going forward in my library, and I'll be fine. And plus, remember, we still got Game Pass. So
yes.
The games that you're playing, if you're pretty much playing majority of the games through Game Pass, you'll be fine.
Well,
you're not really relying on physical discs or anything like that anymore.
Right. Oh, by the way, the PS5 will have a 4K Blu-ray player.
What?
Yeah.
I know.
Who needs that? Who still watches movies?
They need them for that 100 GB disc.
Right.
Yeah.
Those games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and.
Yep.
Yeah.
And more expensive and more expensive and more expensive if it gets to it.
Let's forget about that.
So
Sorry.
I mean, give us your take on that, Thomas. As far as what bringing forward your PS4 and your Xbox libraries.
Oh, I mean, I'm all about the BC. I mean, I'm down. It's just,
I guess I
think Sony wants to do it, but I'm sure they probably have a list of things. They're like, well, BC definitely grabs some attention, but maybe we should worry more with the haptic feedback on the DualShock 5.
Sure. I guess
they said they're putting all. What would one article say? They're putting all power. It's some Japanese article.
Yeah,
they were saying they're putting all power into making backwards compatibility work. So,
maybe the part of it is I don't consider going from the Xbox One to Project Scarlet backward compatibility. Like I'm not expecting PS4 to PS5 to be considered backward compatibility. Just like I'm starting to think that people talking about next gen because Sony has mentioned it. Microsoft hasn't used the words next gen. They simply are just talking about Project Scarlet, but Sony has definitely used the words next gen. So what I think is the hardware, is the next generation of the hardware. But I don't consider cross-gen to be what cross-gen used to be. So remember when the Xbox One and the PS4 came out and Watch Dogs came out, right? and they had Watch Dogs on the 360 and PS3, and Watch Dogs on the PS4 and Xbox One, and they were two separate games that you had to buy separately. I don't expect that anymore. I expect that if I buy Halo Infinite and I play it on my X, I could play it on my Scarlet.
Yeah.
I could take it upstairs and play it on my base. That to me is not cross-gen. That's just it's a different moniker to me now.
Like you said, you're just buying the faster computer you bought, or you upgraded your computer, and you're still playing the same games that you had before.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
And if it's not that,
shame on them.
Well, no, not shame on them. I can't wrap my mind around it as somebody who deals in hardware architecture every day. If I'm wrong about this, I don't understand how I'm wrong. So
it's all about making that money at the end of the day for them. So,
well, sure.
True.
I mean, they want you to. I mean, they love that you bought 3 Xboxes or whatever, but they want you to buy that brand new one and play all your games on it and upgrade to Game Pass Ultimate Gold or whatever the next step is for the subscription services.
And that is something that Sony has a different outlook on, because and it's very easy to see it. In the investors meeting earlier this year, they said that the PS4 was going to be their base revenue for the next 4 years. So that, and the fact that they are targeting The Last of Us 2 to the base PS4, not even the Pro, the base PS4, and they're scaling up rather than starting at the top and scaling down.
Yeah,
they're comfortable easing people into the PS5, and Microsoft may not be in that position. Microsoft may need people.
I think they're ready for the next Xbox. It just,
yeah, and I think
past,
they're
2018, 2019, they've definitely gotten things in a better direction, but I just kind of feel like they're ready to start something new. It's time for them to move on. Not that the Xbox One was a failure. I mean, it sold at 48 million consoles, but if you just go online and read, articles and opinions on social media, there's still that negative stigma for Xbox, unfortunately.
Xbox One name. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Xbox One. I mean, people are just like, oh, hey, I bought an Xbox One. Oh, what a joke. It's no matter what they've done, it's still looked down upon them.
But I still don't know, because what we've been saying is it's not like a true next gen where you start from zero.
Right.
You need new accessories, you need new games in order for you to play it on Scarlet or PS5. It's
So is changing the name enough? I mean, obviously PlayStation is going with PlayStation 5.
Who knows? I don't know.
So they're not doing a Super Pro. They're not doing Pro Plus. They're making a clean break from the PS4. Does Microsoft need to make a clean break from Xbox One?
No.
You don't think so?
I do.
I don't.
But go ahead, Chris.
I think.
Well, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, you think this is going to be?
No, I think everything is going to march
the
the way we've been going. It's since there's no clean break for a true next gen, Sony keeps marching on, taking the top spot, and Microsoft is trailing. I don't see that change.
But to get that negative stigma out,
I don't think that's ever.
I don't know. I think the stigma is Microsoft. Some people hate Microsoft. Period. There's no reason for it. When you ask them why do you get either bogus answer or I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Because last gen the PS3 was the punching bag.
Yeah, at the beginning, but I mean but they turn things around, and the hard work with some of these guys like Sean Layden and
but also it's
those guys what they did.
The games.
Yeah.
It's easy to change around when you start from zero. Both companies started with zero.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You won't have that.
It's going to be.
It's
day one all over again.
But
same thing. So
it's like Peter's saying that. I mean, we're only going up to the next consoles are only, as far as for Xbox, it's just a next. It's like, hey, there's a new X out. more powerful than the X. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it, they're giving you that option. But what they're saying is, and they've been saying it for a while, is that they want you to be able to play these games where you can and where you want. So if you still can only afford to play games on the OG Xbox, we're going to bring these games to you. You can still play it, and they'll be optimized to look the best it can on an OG. And I still think the
OG Xbox One. Ooh.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think the xCloud is going to be able to help in some of that, to be able to alleviate some of those issues where, to where it can be optimized a little bit easier with the help with the xCloud. And then you still got mobile, and then you just saw at the Windows, the Surface Duo is coming out. Xbox is not worried about, well, we need you to buy this hardware. We need you to buy the next console. They want you to buy it.
They want you to buy it, yeah, but say they got a
choice. They're giving you a choice to be able to play games on other devices, and it's not so much about. We're moving on from that. And if you look at PlayStation, yes, PlayStation
remote play
has
with
said
the
that
iPhones and the
they
Androids.
want you to buy the PS5. But I think Jim Ryan, there was an article that came out, like I think a lot of the reason why a lot of these changes are going on behind the scenes is because Sony. Jim Ryan is like looking at it like, look, we can't just sit here and sit on our success that we had with the PlayStation 4 and think that we're going to continue having that success going forward. We need to move on to the next. I think I saw that Jim Ryan wants to do similar to what Xbox is doing. He wants to have these games on other devices too.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the price of the PSN now dropped, and I'm pretty sure I won't be surprised if you start seeing their first party games in day of date, if not maybe a month or two in afterwards. But the subscription services are going to be big, and they're going to want you to play these games. It's going to be more about be able to play the games and sell the software on multiple devices because you can make more money that way. And if PS5 if they're saying we're going to be BC with the PS4, and like you're saying, they're still going to rely on PS4 to help make that money, right? They didn't really push the Pro and try to say, you know what, you can't play on a PS4 anymore. You have to have the Pro. They allowed people to have that choice, right? So the PS5 I think is going to be similar, and to where those who want to and can, they will get a PS5, but you can still enjoy PlayStation games on the PS4 and PC, through PSN Now, and I'm sure it's going to be on mobile too. I mean, we saw some people doing remote play, right? And
which just came out for Android.
Nope.
Yeah. So, I mean, the name's going to change for the next consoles, but it's still a next upgrade. I don't see it.
I think Sony is happy that it's not going to be a true next gen, but starting with zero. Because I mean, look at it. You have your 100 million, users already out there. Now, what are they going to do? Are they going to switch to Xbox all of a sudden to play, the multiplat? Probably not. They stay what they have, and maybe they upgrade to a PS5.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it'd be cool to be able to play however you want, where you want. So you got people who can play PS5 games and Xbox games on PC or on mobile, whatever they want to choose.
Yeah.
I think it's pro-consumer, but I'm sure Sony, they want to make money on that PS5. We'll see.
I think someone needs to go on the Edge browser on the Xbox One and see if they can play a PS Now game. I have it.
Oh my God! I'm playing God of War 3 on the.
It's the same version of Microsoft Edge. It's not slimmed down. I'm just saying.
Mike, you need to record this, man. You could be onto something.
I know, but look. The reason I asked if a name change is coming is because I looked at the Halo Infinite website.
Yeah.
And it says Halo Infinite for Xbox One and Windows 10. So I don't know the entire Xbox family of devices, including Project Scarlet and Windows PCs. So it's going to be called Xbox something.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering,
Windows.
like Brah was saying, they definitely want to get away from the Xbox One. Yes, it did have that negative stigmatism that's been carried over the past few years, right? Ever since 13.
What do
So
they
definitely, they're going to go with a different name for sure
Yeah.
to kind of get people excited.
So what if they called it Xbox Infinite to go along with Halo Infinite?
I
No,
wouldn't mind that.
No,
I think it's just going to be called Xbox.
Xbox Ultimate.
think they're going to go back to. I mean, because I don't think this whole thing of people saying, "Oh, they'll get that confused with the OG Xbox." No, they won't. No, they won't. No. That's far enough in the past. This is like it's like a re. You know what? It's like a reboot.
Yeah,
You know, it's
we're
like,
rebooting the Xbox
yeah.
brand.
No, well, I mean, because think about like movies like Fast and Furious. All they did was take out the, and there's your
Fast
you
and
know.
Furious. Whoa! Oh my
You know,
God.
they did it with Rambo. They did it with. I mean, they've
Modern
rebooted.
Warfare.
They've rebooted movies like that and have called it the same as before. Or just it could happen. Maybe Peter's right. Maybe they just call it Xbox.
People will call it the new Xbox.
New Xbox.
Yeah.
No.
You do that for 4 years, and then there's a newer one.
Right. And well, they could. Well, so
The
like
new
they did, right.
Xbox.
Hey, look, they rebooted Star Trek, so they can reboot the Xbox like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
It's the future.
Someone's got to go back in time or go in the future. There's got to be some time traveling going on to do that. So
yeah. So, Xbox, the Kelvin timeline. So now we know they're all coming holiday. They're all so this is what, and Peter alluded to this. It's going to be about the games. So I mean, we already know what's coming for both. You know, we know Halo Infinite is a launch title that's going to launch.
You know what they should do? They should bundle that with Scarlet.
Wow. That's
Halo
bold.
Infinite.
I mean, that's
I'm sure there'll be an
things will
Infinite
fly off the
bundle.
shelf.
It needs to be a custom.
Yes.
The past
Yeah,
Halos
there'll be
have
a
all had
custom bundle, I
Dude,
believe.
it needs to look like this thing is what it needs to do. If they make a Halo, it needs
Master
you know what it
Chief
needs to be?
Edition.
It needs to be the Halo. It needs to be his mask. Needs to
Yeah.
be his helmet. Needs to be
Oh
the
my
Xbox
God.
Scarlet.
Or it could
Laser
be the
etched
Warhog,
helmet.
so whenever you turn it on, the wheels start turning.
And the disc drive is
Shoots
the
mud at
top
you.
of the disc drive's the top of his helmet.
Yeah.
So I mean, but we're getting both of these guys. And they're going to the specs are pretty much going to be the same. So it's going to come down to games. And right now it's going to be Sony's known titles versus Microsoft's whatever is coming out of their other studios. We know Halo Infinite, and we know that
Minecraft.
games like and Minecraft. We know that The Last of Us 2 is going to be there for the PS5 in some format of an upgraded version.
I think it'll be the multiplayer. We know they're working on the multiplayer mode. No, I'm serious. I think it's going to be they'll have maybe Horizon Zero Dawn 2, maybe.
I think that's more of a
I would
safe
expect
bet.
that, right? It's about
And then
right?
the Last
Hey,
of Us 2
Jeepers.
multiplayer could be the big multiplayer game they can shout about. Look, we got a multiplayer game. We got a multiplayer game. It's The Last of Us 2.
I don't think I think that what if they're working
Big
on
name.
an Uncharted Battle Royale game?
Well, is it Naughty Dog working
Yeah,
on the new IP?
Battle Royale. It's
Yeah, no, I think that's done.
by 2020. It's out of style.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. But maybe I wonder if Naughty Dog is working on the next generation of Uncharted. I know
Well,
that
rumor-
Go ahead.
Remember last year they were doing some casting calls for an older aged black male with the kind of like a husky body and all this. So there was a couple of job listings. Some random website found looking for actors to come audition for some roles for an unknown project. Like,
By Naughty Dog?
yeah.
Huh.
Let me see if I can find it. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
you know
though.
they have to be working on the next. I mean, Last of Us 2 is coming out, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they're done
If
with
it's not gonna be
Uncharted, yeah, it's time
gonna be a
to.
new
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, but I'm not sure they're done with Uncharted. I think that there's a whole new thing with the kid.
It
I
might
don't
be.
know, man. I mean,
But
they
maybe
made
not right away though.
3 Crash Bandicoot. Wait, four.
Yeah.
4 Jack and Dexters, if you include the racing games.
Yeah,
But I mean, I
5
wouldn't be
Uncharted.
surprised if Horizon Zero Dawn 2 does come out launch.
Oh man,
It would be about due, right?
it would be.
Because that came
came
out
out
when,
November,
when did
yeah,
that come
February
out?
28th, 2017. So
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they got all the assets there. I mean,
They do.
right,
I mean, look at. I mean,
Decimated
you look
engine.
at a publisher that's been able to pump out games on a consistent basis and good quality games. Has been Ubisoft. And then it's a good thing they took a break from Assassin's Creed, and they're doing it again because we're not getting Assassin's Creed this year.
next year.
So, what they're building the next Assassin. It's going to be for 20 and 21. I'm sure like they did with Origin and Odyssey. Yeah, I mean, we got 2 Far Cry's out of Ubisoft, a couple Assassins,
Yeah.
couple Recon, Ghost Recon, couple Divisions. I mean, goodness gracious, and that's all that's one from one publisher, and a couple others that I'm probably missing, but.
Yeah. So. Oh, by the way, speaking of Last of Us, you're probably not going to see me on Xbox for a week or two as I now make my way through the Last of Us remastered. Now that it's up on PSN.
Plus.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get started. I wanted to play some Blair Witch, but I'm gonna I think I'm gonna run through Last of Us. Get that out of the way.
I heard that game was creepy. It's
What game?
Funk. The Blair Witch.
I'm
Heard
actually,
it.
Yeah,
Creepy.
I'm actually
What did I
looking
watch?
forward
I
to
watched-
playing it.
My daughter was playing it one day. Yeah.
Heard it was kind of slow in the middle, but the last 30 minutes make up for it.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of games now kind of getting that way.
What, getting creepy?
No, slow in the middle.
Uh,
I mean, kind of big in the middle.
That like Metro Exodus was one that got slow, and then the last like 45 minutes just jumped up. So I'm seeing this a little bit more
like a
as
movie.
we go. Yeah, kind of like movies.
Yeah.
So, okay, I do see that you sent me. All right, well, we'll see if
Yeah,
so
so working on something new.
There's something they're working on.
so, Brah, so what all do you expect as far as as far as the launch games for?
Well,
PS5?
I know. Gorilla.
Yeah.
They have a second team now,
Yeah.
and I know they hired one of the main creators of Rainbow Six Siege. So you don't hire that guy to make a single player game. At least I don't think you would.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they're working on something. I know Ben Studio, they were hiring for a new game.
Yeah.
So
Was it
calm or
last-
we riot.
I know,
Like
right?
Ben Studio just came out with the
Days Gone.
Days Gone, so
But they were hiring
not
for a new
necessarily-
game. They had a job list.
Yeah,
And
you
it said-
definitely and Santa Monica's working on another God of War,
yeah.
right?
They've got to
but
be.
like who
Spider-Man,
but
Ratchet and
as far
Clank,
as-
Insomniac. It's
PlayStation Studios, like who, and they got some third
I'm
party.
telling you,
guys, too,
Insomniac is working on Sunset Overdrive too. People
think
say,
so?
I think so. I think they
How
were.
long
Think so?
Microsoft had a publishing agreement though.
But Sony now owns the IP.
I mean, couldn't they be like, hey, Sony, be like, yo, what up, Microsoft? Come on, man, come on.
So did Microsoft give up the publishing rights?
They don't have right of first refusal for the second one.
I don't think they would just give them up, but maybe some money slid on the table.
I'm telling you, this is like Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider, where Microsoft Studios published the Xbox version and Square Enix published the PS4 version. They wouldn't. I don't think that they would have said anything about it about them owning the IP if they weren't able to use it.
It's just kind of weird. We've never seen that before.
Yeah, and I don't think. No. I just don't think that. I don't think that would happen. So.
I mean, why would they say after they just done Spider-Man? Said, all right, let's go to do a Sunset Overdrive 2. I mean, look, Sunset Overdrive, the first one was okay. It was cool. I just don't see that worthy of a sequel. I'm sorry. I don't. And what they did with Spider-Man, that was great. You need to build upon that.
They
built a Spider-Man 2
yeah,
or
but where do you think a lot of the mechanics for Spider-Man came from?
Well, I know, but I mean, they could do another game. They could do either a new IP, something.
Ratchet and Clank.
The assets that they use.
Yeah,
for Spider-Man,
but for
Sony,
it was
a cool story and.
But for PlayStation gamers, Sunset Overdrive would be a new IP for them because they didn't get the first one.
If they find a way to bring over the first one and see how it goes, make it a free PS Plus game.
Oh wow, that'd be pretty smart actually.
That would.
I mean, why? And then go from there. But
definitely be some new IPs.
Yeah.
I think Sony Japan's working on something new.
Yeah.
They got to be, unless we want Knack 3. And I mean, I enjoyed Knack 2, but I'm not begging for a Knack 3 anytime soon.
And we know
you're going to get one anyway, sir.
Yeah.
Mark Cerny will make sure.
There's a contract that says you must make Knack 3 for the PS5. They're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's another. I mean, they could do another Infamous for PS5.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. But I mean, hell, Sucker Punch is all in on Ghost of Tsushima right now. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
They are.
So when is that coming out? Do you think they're gonna bump? You think they're gonna bump that to holiday to bring that to the PS5?
Jim Ryan still says a PS4 game this week.
Yeah.
But that don't mean nothing. He could say that today, and then tomorrow they're like,
"That's a hell of a."
The Last of Us 2 is coming out in February.
I mean, look.
So
I know the PS4 exclusives look really. Some of them like God of War and Uncharted Lost Legacy and them games. They look amazing.
Yeah.
But dude, Ghost of Tsushima looked like a totally different level. If you go back and watch that video from E3 18,
yep.
Some of those backgrounds, I'm just like,
oh yeah,
what the?
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that Sucker Punch didn't. I mean, Infamous Second Son looked really damn good for a game that came out early 2015. Mm-hmm. But Ghost of Tsushima looked like a whole new level. I mean, maybe the characters didn't look, next gen. But the backgrounds and the scenery
look gorgeous.
That scene on the hill with the tree and the sun coming down, the leaves falling. That just screamed next gen. I'm like, how are they doing this shit?
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they had that as a launch game.
Yeah, or
but then I've heard also it might come out maybe March or so, or right before E3. I don't know.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah.
I could definitely see it being either summer or they released when was The Last of Us? When did it come out? June on the PS3? It was a real weird date. But it was kind of an off date.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have February 21st is The Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of depends on if they announce any more games. I mean, I'm sure they're going to give Sucker Punch all the time they need in the world. So they delayed Concrete Genie almost a year.
True, that just came out. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a team of 20 developers making it, and it wasn't. Yeah. So if Sucker Punch says, "Hey, it's put on the PS5," I'm sure they'll be like, "Okay."
What about Dreams?
all these games?
I mean, there was a beta, but when is Dreams launching?
They have a 10-year plan for Dreams. It's still in early access. I played the other day. It was pretty fun.
Sony doesn't have early access.
Yeah, it's Dreams, pre-Dreams. I don't know.
Right, pre-Dreams.
Falling
asleep.
the Ghost. I mean,
But
Gran Turismo developer. What is it? Polyphony or?
yeah,
Polyphony, yeah.
don't they have like 4 different teams now with
I
Polyphony?
don't know. Yeah,
I know they're making.
yeah.
I know they're making the cars next gen proof, so they can
Yeah.
they scale them
Yeah.
down for GT Sports, so they can just.
Yeah, Gran
Bubble.
Turismo, whatever
Seven
the next
books.
7 is it 7 will be?
I mean, I know sports is more of an online experience. I mean,
Yeah,
their events.
Gran Turismo 7 will be out in like 2030.
Yeah. Their events have been pretty popular online, man. I was at work one day. It was a Saturday. My friend's sitting there watching something. I'm like, who are these British guys talking? They're like, oh my God, they're going into the corner. And then he shows me the video. I'm like, you're watching a video game? Like, yeah, it just popped up on Facebook. It's like, okay. I never thought a coworker would be watching Gran Turismo Sport, but all right.
Hey, no,
It's found its little niche corner. It's not as big as they probably hoped it in, but
Dreams Creator Early Access.
yep.
Yeah, that's what it's called. There's no
haven't
date for
created-
this.
I've created nothing for it, but I just jump from dream to dreams playing other people's games. That's pretty enjoyable.
That's cool.
And if you buy if you buy into the early access, when the full game releases, whenever the hell it does, you get all the content for the you ain't got to pay for the rest of it,
Yeah.
which is kind of neat.
Yeah, that is kind of neat.
Because I mean, you know what? Say if you wait until it comes out, I don't know. I say early next year, you'll be paying $60 for it, as opposed you could pay $30 and got everything.
Yeah.
As
That
it
sounds like game preview on Xbox.
right.
That's how they do it.
Right.
It's coming. Because it's supposed to have a PSVR mode, so get to it.
That's
Bitch.
awesome. So, and that actually I wanted to bring that up before we because it's 11:49. I know everybody's starting.
Damn.
I
What
know.
you doing to me, Mike?
I know, man. So it happens when you join the crew.
It's been a fun show tonight. I'll
It
say that.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has. This has been a great show. So it's great having you
And the
on,
chat,
Thomas.
too.
It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chat's
chat's
great.
been awesome.
Yeah.
So, Thomas's milkshake brings all the guys, all the people in the chat.
I'm trying to get my friends, but people, I don't know. It's hard enough getting people to click on a link to an article,
I know.
but get them to watch a video is even a totally different
Oh, I
challenge.
know.
I'm learning. Okay.
That's why we. That's
but I
why we
always
truly.
tell people, just come in and say hi.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, we understand. People have family.
Yeah.
People want to play some games.
I mean, we truly do. We do say it all the time, and I mean it every week. We cherish our friends in the chat. We don't even call them fans. These are our gaming brothers and sisters. When we have Mamacita or Mrs. Max Wren in there. I mean, these are our brethren, and so it's great. It's great to have them in there. Is that your Death Stranding hand?
PS5.
Oh, man. So anyway, before we the only other thing that I had on PlayStation today, we didn't talk a whole lot about it. It is the 3rd anniversary of, which is why I wore this at the beginning. It is the 3rd anniversary of the PSVR. And
13th,
I will
right?
say, yep, and I will say once again that I want to thank the PlayStation Brah
Yeah, what up?
and his show because full disclosure, I won this.
Yeah.
So and it
It's
was
pretty cool.
awesome.
I remember.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, oh my God, Mike's going to freak out. And
Right, right. And I'm like, because I'm watching TV and I'm listening to that at the same time. But my wife's scoffing at me for it because I'm supposed to be spending time with her, and I'm like, yeah, but they're giving away a PSVR. And then Thomas says, all right, the winner is the original Next Level Gaming. And my wife looks up and says, wait, was that you? Like, yeah. So the reason I put this back on is because as it is the 3rd anniversary of the PSVR, the Sony is having a sale on almost all of their stuff.
That's a pretty good sale.
Yeah, so I think I can
Beefy. Ow, ow, ow.
I think I can do this. Hold on. Chickabow.
And what's cool too that we didn't mention earlier is that the PSVR is going to be compatible with
Full
the
compatible,
PS5.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean that's great. You know.
Right.
Did you see the new patents that leaked? Oh, they didn't. Okay, they don't leak, but they what?
Right.
I guess
know
they
what you mean.
release them. Oh,
I still want to. I still need to get the upgraded one that does HDR. Uh-oh. And now his his
what happened to the sound?
his headset died.
No.
All right, so while he's mucking with his headset, if you are looking for PSVR games, they are all on sale. Tetris Effect, which I do
Yeah,
want to
we
get.
are.
I heard Tetris Effect is awesome. Borderlands
It is.
VR. Ace Combat 7 is $30. I actually did. My friend brought
That
in
would
his
be cool.
yeah. My friend brought in his Pro, and his VR into work, and I got a chance to play Ace Combat 7. It was really cool. Star Trek Bridge Crew, $17.99. Anybody who wants to play Star Trek Bridge Crew, come see
yes.
me.
Awesome game.
Yes, come see me. I will continue to play that game. Skyrim is
I haven't,
21
but
bucks.
I've never played it.
You haven't played it? Okay. You,
Yeah,
me,
y'all need to play it.
Peter, and Coop.
I need to see a stream on this.
Okay, let's make that.
I'll crash and die.
Let's make that happen. Let's see. Bravo Team, Persona Dancing. Why?
Dumb, no.
Solus
My son said it.
Project.
My son goes, "That was the dumbest thing, Dad."
Yeah, I can see why. Let's see if it'll let me do it. All right, here we go. Resident Evil, $25.
Yes. Yes.
Titanic VR, in case you want to sink and die for $10. Let's see. Infinite Mini Golf. That sounds like it would be cool. Mini Golf in Super Hot, which I hear is a great VR title.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Let's see what else we got. Pinball FX VR. Peter.
Yeah, I don't know how great it is in VR.
I'm excited for
Sounds
that.
like could be pretty cool. Let's see. Mars Alive. And that's it. So there you go. There's a sale on PSVR stuff.
I feel like last year's sale was better, but I don't know. I have to ask Mr. Breeze VR.
Well, get up on that Star Trek Bridge Crew. Seriously.
Okay, I'll download it. I'll make sure I have it downloaded.
Get up on that Bridge Crew that is awesome. I had a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with that. So
Did you see the patent for the next PSVR? Oh,
I did
supposedly. Yeah, it was all wireless, and it had the little you know how the Quest and all that have the little the wands with the little circular.
Yeah.
I guess the sensors on them. Yeah, it looked like that.
The PS Move.
There was no wires, so that's
No wires is good.
There'll be cameras on the front so that you can see through the headset if you're playing something and
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, that's
That would be
someone
cool.
behind you says, "Hey, Mike, turn around." Like, okay. You don't run into everything. You can actually see what's in front of you. That's kind of cool.
That is cool. All right.
I'm trying to think. There was something.
go ahead.
There was something. I was talking to a buddy at work, and there was something that's going VR that I was like, now that might get me into VR. I'm still trying to think about it, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll tweet it out.
Walking
Okay.
Dead.
Oh yeah. I saw that the Walking Dead one.
Yeah.
That looked pretty cool. It was a cool trailer where the mom gave the girl the backpack right before everything went down, and then it how the backpack traveled, and then she ended up getting it back there in the end of the trailer, and I thought that was cool. Yeah, I don't know if it was that one, but that one looked cool. I wouldn't mind playing that in VR.
Excuse me.
Anyway, all right, carry on.
Okay. All right. That is all that I've got for the night. What do you guys have? Anything? Anything more?
You got a pillow waiting for you.
Yeah, that. Got to work tomorrow, but I definitely
Yeah.
gonna jump into some Breakpoint. Try to hit Breakpoint hard this weekend, and I played some Gears 5 Escape. the other day.
How is it?
I like Escape. It's fun. I think the more you play it, I haven't jumped in all the maps, but what different what's it different levels, you know. So no, but it was fun. Other than that, that's about it.
Okay. All right. Peter, anything else?
Well, there's some gaming this weekend. Sunday is my birthday, so
Oh, hell yeah.
Happy birthday.
chillax a little.
Happy 21.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, weird.
Need to get some. Need to charge up your headset though.
Yeah. Would be nice.
Yes. All right. Well, so as always, Thomas, thank you for joining us again.
I'm glad I can make it tonight.
Definitely.
I didn't fall asleep on the show.
So, and
Clean
we'll,
shaven and everything.
I
don't
know.
what happened.
Oh, man, see,
Man, we were beard brothers, man.
we were supposed to have these mustaches for my friend's wedding. So I shaved my beard to do this mustache for the wedding, and then my friend who initiated the idea,
didn't
he
shave.
shaves his the night before the wedding, and my other friend shaves his. I'm like, what? I was kind of aggravated. A little aggravated.
So you kind of had no choice.
Because my hairstylist would have done my beard up nice and pretty for the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't even get me started, okay? Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother.
It's all right.
Wow.
You get your
It'll
mojo
go
back.
back, though, don't you worry.
Yeah. You get your bra mojo back.
Oh, we got the mojo. Don't you worry.
Hey.
All right. Well, we'll work on your next visit. Have you on once a month. The Brah visit.
Or anytime.
And,
Make the show blossom.
Anytime. Well, I wasn't gonna ask him to, I didn't want to make him commit to every Thursday night, unless he could. I mean,
I talked to my agent, aka my wife.
exactly. We all have that agent.
I know, right?
That is why we're
She's
on.
very
Thursday.
demanding.
Well, he might be becoming
She's in the room
face
with
of-
you, isn't she?
He might be becoming the face of PlayStation for the PS5.
I know he won't have time
Yeah.
because he's going to be the new president of
He'll
Worldwide
be-
Studios,
Promoting.
chairman of
Guys, don't ruin the surprise.
the Brah man of Worldwide Studios. So
the PS5 bra.
Make PlayStation great again.
I'll buy that.
oh my! All right, so to our chat room once again, guys. Effing phenomenal. We love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us once again. Hopefully we're bringing you the straight talk without the BS. Gamers that just love to play games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's plenty of other avenues for the other stuff, and we love that you're a part of the chat room. We love that you're a part of what we do, and so every time we can look up on the screen and bring something in that you guys say, we try to do that. So thank you guys so much. You're why we're here. Straight up. So everybody have a great week. Peter, Chris, I'll see you guys. I'm gonna go try out a 3D Blu-ray on this PSVR now. See what this is about. So everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon.
Ooh.
All right, game on, guys.
Yep. See y'all, gamers. Take it easy.